Now that we understand more about the name of God, Yahweh, from the last video, and how it's intimately linked to Jesus' work on the cross and the creation of man, let's take a look at another word from the same moments of man's creation and see what we find. It's ridiculous, so stick with me for a minute. Then Yahweh God formed man of dust from the ground. The Hebrew word formed in Genesis 2:7 is only written like this once in the whole entire Bible. And it's this same verse, Yahweh, God, revealed the creation of man and how he did it. Not just the way he physically created us in his image and likeness, seen in Genesis 1:26 and 27, but how he physically did it by breathing into man and forming Adam with his hands out of the dust of the ground. The word formed, vietzer or yetzer, is always spelled with one yod, except for here in Genesis 2:7. Just a little bit later in Genesis 2:19, the same word is used when talking about forming the beasts and the birds. And out of the ground Yahweh God had formed, vietzer, every beast of the field and every bird of the sky. But here, only one yod is used in the same word with the same meaning. But why? Because when God created you in his image and likeness, he did so with two hands, not just one, like the beasts and the birds. Man made with two hands as the desired firstborn. He created us with both hands, like a potter making a fine work, setting us apart from all other creation by giving us the image and likeness of himself that requires the craftsmanship of two hands, an intimate creation of his desire. But what's God's desire that we're formed for? Man, given work to trap or subdue in order to rule, have dominion. Genesis 1:28. God blessed them, and God said to them, "Be fruitful and multiply, and fill the earth and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the birds of the sky, and over every living thing that creeps on the earth." Even here, God is saving his works for us to take part in. Now, no shrub of the field was yet in the earth, and no plant of the field had yet grown, for Yahweh God had not caused it to rain upon the earth, and there was no man to cultivate the ground. No man to cultivate, tend, or work the ground. Then Yahweh God took the man and set him in the Garden of Eden to cultivate and keep it. God gave us a work after his work was completed, after completing creation, and again when he completed the work on the cross. For by grace you have been saved through faith, and this is not yourselves. It is a gift of God, not of works, so that no one may boast. For we are his workmanship, created in Christ Jesus for good works, which God prepared beforehand so that we would walk in them. We are saved by grace, through faith, for good works. But even in the moment of formation, Vietzer, God knew what man would do and what needed to be done to redeem his creation. Nailing the hands that desire and wait for the firstborn, his first fruit, his highest, most important of his creations, formed in his image and likeness. You, me, we need the grace of Jesus, God, because man's action makes trouble's source. Just like in the Garden of Eden, where it all began, where man's actions made the source of all trouble. But just like Adam and Eve, you have a choice. Will you, man, give worship, pulling yourself towards the King, the source of creation, Yahweh? Give worship, look to and behold him, establishing a connection and securing grace, the breath of life, his spirit. And for the one who needs to hear this and understand, stop belittling yourself. God's creation. You carry his image and his likeness, not his perfection. So when you disparage yourself or talk poorly about yourself, by default, you're criticizing your creator. Just say thank you and ask for help, because he's already decided you're worthy. You're worth his sacrifice. In the beginning, Bereshit, Jesus is before all things, and in him all things hold together.